one space enclosure, not to say it's unacceptable. It's just that people start to move on towards a faster opening.
Yeah.
The wider one.
The wider ones, yeah. The idea being, again, to read the full story, might as well. It's in Chinese, but the English version is coming out.
The English one's coming out?
Maybe the English one's coming out. There's one publisher in Seattle.
Right.
Hopefully we'll get that done when I get back.
Sounds exciting.
Okay.
So, Jungil, right? And David Ormerod? When they did Relentless, they found this one guy called Josh Hoke who does all the diagrams for them. So the very nice printouts. So at the moment I'm trying to collaborate with the same guy. So
Right.
hopefully I'll find the right people doing the right thing.
I hope so too.
But yeah, one of the things I talked about,
Playing white.
if you're gonna occupy a corner with 2 moves, there's almost no possibility that you'll get no agi after 2 moves. Whether it be this enclosure or this enclosure or that enclosure, there's always gonna be some stuff happening in the corner.
Yeah.
So nowadays people in 2018 just think, do you know what? We're not gonna get a full corner with 2 moves, so let's just spread it out as quickly as possible.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But
I will
it's
see
not the end of
what
the
will
world.
happen there. And play this one.
Oh. Right.
Has AlphaGo in any way
This one
changed
is-
the way you play? Like,
It has. At first, when I saw AlphaGo beat Lee Sedol, part of me was confused rather than anything really. Obviously, there are people pissed off, because
Don't bother doing it
it
unless
seems like we lost the human edge officially. But at first it was confusion. I don't know what this bot does. Somehow it just wins. Some people,
then again, playing
accuse it of being boring.
1 move to 0.
But I'm really glad I did it. I'm really glad I studied the 50 self-play games. Not the 0 ones, but just the 50 self-play games they released at the end of May.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a journey. I'm really glad I did it, and there's a lot of stuff to be learned.
Already
It has to be said, and one of the things I love the most is, it brings us back together as humans. I've been, just everyone's learning now. Everyone's not, even the pros.
Yeah.
Because because I know a lot of Asian
Well,
pros.
it's one of the things that comment that keeps cropping up is that it's a program which is displaying genuine creativity.
Yeah.
And it's been producing quite a number of original moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
It's not only quite a number.
In this book, actually, one of the things I talked about is how AlphaGo basically disobeys every single Go proverb there ever has been.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You can't crawl on the second line. You have to. If you have 2 stones, you have to jump 3 spaces. If you have 3 stones, you have to jump 4 spaces. But yeah, AlphaGo just
disregard all of that and do something else.
do something else. Wins the game. So.
Yeah, it was one of the things from the movie I watched. I was really late here today because
All right. Well.
watching the AlphaGo movie, and they were talking about the 5th line shoulder hit.
Yeah.
And all the commentators were going, "What's it doing that?"
we don't get it, yeah.
And it went and cleaned up half the board.
I hope you don't mind. I'm just recording this opening because it's so interesting.
But it makes Go only more fascinating to learn for me. Before the rise of AlphaGo, no one probably predicted that a bot would take over in 2016. So pro players think they're maybe like 70, 80%, like they know most of the game. Amateur players are probably 7 to 8%. But as a matter of fact, actually maybe pro players only know like 9 to 10% now. After AlphaGo, because there's so much stuff that's unexplored. Part of the reason I love Go and keep playing Go is there's always so much stuff I don't know. As the circle of knowledge expands in area, its circumference also increases, meaning that there's more I don't know. And I want to get into this now.
I guess it's time to start looking for something different. Something like this.
Oh.
Maybe.
I like. So yeah, so I tend to think that the focus of the Go world right now is not so much on the competition side, because computers have already beaten humans in all departments. I think what's really important right now is if we get more Go players around the world, that would be a good thing. Like go back to having fun, and for example, if Go becomes big in Australia.
Yeah, well, certainly in Perth it seems to be growing at the moment. But there's...
But we don't have a lot to begin with.
Right?
Yeah, we're starting from a small base. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
let's start
put
from
it this
small
way. It's getting to the point now where we can actually start to seriously consider establishing an association here.
Yeah, you guys have a great club here. Like, this is the highest turnout I've ever seen in Australia.
But this is a but here in Perth it's still a very informal. Somebody organises a venue and people rock up. That's it. Yeah. There is no formal club. There's no formal competition structure.
Yep.
They have it in, like, I think they might have it in Japan or somewhere.
I mean, so
you in other cities in Australia too.
Promoting Go in the West is what I would like to do. Because to be honest, Chinese Go doesn't need me, but I think there needs to be more people interested in making Go popular in the West. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's why I learned English for that matter. I did broadcasts with pros on the AGA channel. That's why I do it. So, you have to start from small numbers. Have to be patient. You have to survey the market.
Of course.
So I heard there's one guy in Brisbane who actually purchased 10,000 Australian dollars of Go boards and stuff.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's a big stake.
Right.
Who did that?
I don't know. Some guy. I'm told.
That's like
Big gamble.
that's like so cool.
Maybe it just hasn't happened yet, so we can't see the growth. It could be exponential.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it seems like a long-term investment. But if in 10 years, let's say the Go population in the USA doubles, and we see a visible uptick in the number of people going to Just Go congresses or tournaments, then I can be glad to say that that's something I started doing 10 years ago, and now it's paying off. And that's something I contributed to the community. So.
I think that's really great, especially the book. I actually I think that's one of the better ways of going about it, because there's, like, among board game players and people who play games, that would probably be what drew me in anyway, was the strategy behind it, because chess is just so boring and predictable, and it's all about memorizing patterns, whereas Go is far more creative, and it's more of a visible sort of I guess creative and intellectual battle rather than just moving pieces on a board.
So here's what I think. At least Go can be as popular as chess. In my dualistic world, at least I hope we can reach a similar status. Because if people like chess, there's there's a genuine potential in people interested in Go. And if you want to learn board games, wouldn't you want to learn the king of them all?
Yes, of course. Right? But the thing is, isn't Go really popular in Asian countries? Isn't it sort of like the monopoly of Asia?
So in China, it's and Taiwan, I think it's Go and Chinese chess.
Of course, yeah.
In Japan, it's Go and shogi. In Korea, it's Go and StarCraft. I'm just kidding. It's not StarCraft. It's pretty popular though, right?
It is.
The Australian population is going up.
Yeah, the Koreans probably really hate Google right now. First you beat us at Go, now you beat us at StarCraft.
Yeah, they're probably really mad.
Can we actually have something?
Moving from another country into
I guess that was a mistake.
For 1 second I was worried that it was Australian ladder. Oh, I'm okay.
It's no surprise that Australia has the most ambitious water supply system.
Yeah, over the past few years, I decided, on holidays when I travel, how about I just start visiting all the Go clubs now to get to know the world of Go better. And yeah, so far I'm really glad that I went to those places. Last year was in UK. It's quite a different vibe. It's mostly in pubs, and because in winter it gets dark at like 3:30.
Yeah,
so
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a different vibe. I was in London.
And
Do people think when playing?
Next year I'm looking to be in Berlin. So yeah, look very much forward to the year. And
so each time you have a semester break, you try to travel abroad.
I try to travel abroad. Yeah,
That's cool.
So yeah, I'm really glad I made it to Australia. It's so far away.
It's a small place, but I think it's definitely one of the most unique. But I'm a bit biased, of course.
Yeah, Australia is it's definitely special. And you guys are growing. There's the Australian Go Congress now, right? So that's an opportunity for to meet new people. And for us in the U.S., the record we've got so far for U.S. Congresses is 700 people in Boston.
That's a lot.
In the future, I'd like to see that number reach 1,000. It's hard to guarantee how many people you'll get for each year. I think in Australia right now it's just in Sydney, right?
I reckon we could probably do better than that, just given the fact that in Sydney and Melbourne you already have, of course, people interested in the game, like Australians, but also you have enough diversity in the community that there's people from overseas that would normally play at home as well, and are now probably permanent residents or in the process of getting their citizenship, or already have. So I think 700 is a really low number. I was surprised. I would expect much higher, actually.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's we have to think about availability. It happens every year, end of July, the start of August, and there's costs. Some people are students, so if they can't afford it, they don't come. America's a large country, so every year they try to alternate between the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. Not many in the South. Because, can you imagine a summer in Houston?
Yeah.
They had one in Houston, but I wasn't there. I was happy I wasn't there. Right. So, yeah, and so also parts of it is related to advertising. The first year I took over, as a major organizer for the Boston Congress, we had really good numbers, and that was partially because the team worked really well. We had a really great team with people who actually care.
Yeah, that's important. The passion is what makes or breaks it sometimes.
I mean, yeah, you guys can have more clubs in the future, definitely.
I think also our proximity to where the game actually originates helps to a lot, I can imagine. Not just with the demographics, but just developing a greater awareness as well. Because in America, I can imagine a lot of people that would be like, why the hell should I care about this? Or why is it, what's it relevant
is
to
it
me?
Othello? Is it Chinese checkers?
Yeah.
Chinese checkers.
So offended. Yeah.
Man.
But it's better than no questions at all. At least it means that people are curious to find out what this is.
That's true.
And the guy who is in charge of my city's Go Club, he has a stack of kind of like business cards. Every time people come interested, he would just hand them out.
Get the message out, yeah.
So I thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And every time when I see new folks showing an interest, I try to say, I'm really glad that you're here for the first time. Go is a fascinating game. It's not hard to learn. But try coming for the second time. Maybe it usually happens after the second time, third time. And for a lot of people, really, right? When I first saw Go, I was like, okay. But as I got on with the game, I started thinking, oh, this is so cool. So it does take some time for me. By nature, it's not basketball. You know, some kid might be, you know, that's a 3-pointer. Oh, that's so cool, right? I'm gonna play basketball now. But yeah, with Go, you have to be a little bit more patient. Wait until you see the cool stuff.
I have to admit, codes can be quite complex, and I only discovered that last game. I built some on my skill level, and that's when I realized how important codes actually were.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I'm only like 17Q.
I'm gonna violate the Go proverb.
He played on the second line.
Yeah, play on the second line.
But this is okay because you have this.
You can run.
Now it's a little bit different, yeah. So actually, yeah, when I played this one, that's a follow-up to this.
I was like,
It also doesn't help that white has a strong area. So yeah, that's tougher.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't see this. I was like, yeah, this ladder works. Then
yeah, I mean, if you Atari this way, the ladder works, but I killed a corner.
you get the point.
Yeah, I got a corner.
It's like,
Yeah. See, actually, I didn't use.
I really miss this.
Yeah, I didn't add any more moves to this thickness because I already know it sticks. I don't need another move. I don't need another 3-space jump. What I would rather do is use this as a wall to attack.
Like a launching pad, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pushing my opponent towards this wall. I'm not trying to build off of the wall.
See, I should probably try and do that more because I'm more of the build off the wall type of player.
So yeah, it's things you gradually realize. Now I'm spinning off the wall because I don't want to die. For me, I'm a soft learner, so there are pros and cons of that.
What is a soft learner?
So I didn't really have a pro teacher. Constantly
Drumming the right things, yeah.
So
Self-learned, basically.
yeah, so my form does fluctuate sometimes. When I'm like having a bad day, you know, I just want to kill something. So sometimes at high level, when you get to a high level, you realize that you can't kill things anymore. It doesn't happen. It doesn't occur that way. When I was a kid, my favorite opening was Sensei because I would set up a Sensei every time, and try to build up this area. All right, go, come in, I'll kill you, shred you to pieces. But you know, as I grew up, then I realized that that's not always the case. It's actually very hard to kill the group inside the Sensei formation. And plus, you give away 2 corners. So unless you're Takamiya, it's the coolest guy in the world. It's hard. But yeah, those are the things you just gradually realize. For me, I actually the most enjoyable moment like that, the eureka moment like that, is when I realized that some moves are not as big as I thought they would be. So as you get stronger, you realize, oh, these stones are gonna just actually just give up because you stop seeing them as burden.
At losing,
but
you gain more.
Rather, just point. You know, you can visualize it. So for example, this stone, right? I'm not worried. Because it might be dead, but I'm not worried.
Interesting. It's good to hear these insights because as a low-level player,
I think, you know, a lot of pros, I respect them in every way, but you don't always need a pro teacher. If you have an amateur teacher who explains things to you in layman's terms really well, that's better than having a pro teacher who points things out to you and say, oh, that's straightforward, right? It's just the nature of every sport, really. Some people are great coaches, but they might not be the greatest player of all time. You know what I mean? Like, some people are great at competition. Some people are
better at teaching others.
Good coaches, pundits. Having said that, I'll kill this now.
Yeah, it's bad. Oh well.
It's a nice move, actually. Alright. Well, where should we go next? This is when the people on Twitch start yelling out. Play Tengen. If you donate $10 on stream, I'll play Tengen.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding. do it for the fans, right?
Do it for the fans, yeah.
If you pay 20, I'll play 1-1 right now.
I have to admit, when I'm playing, I always place the stones very softly because I'm not very confident in the move. So when you can often tell has someone's confidence by the firmness of the placement. Well, you can bluff. You can bluff at least.
Slamming stones, right?
Yeah, they'll fear me.
You gotta be smart about it, because if you just like made a blunder and you slam it on the board, people think you're an idiot. But
Exactly.
Sometimes you gotta be sneaky, like
Yeah.
Right. But sometimes like a cap, right? Sending a shockwave
Yes.
to your opponent. Exactly what it does.